Hello everyone, TGM Tech is here. Today we have the Yayu S3 Plus. This might just be the best China phone on the market, so stay tuned to find out. Firstly, if you have not seen the unboxing of this phone, I will link it in the description below. Now let's get some things aside. This phone is called the Yayu S3 Advanced or S3 Plus, but I will call it the S3 Plus. The S3 Plus costs from $160 with 4G LTE. Now with those things aside, let's move on to the design. The S3 Plus has an adequate feel to it and does not feel cheap at all. But just one thing I do not like about the design is the S3 Plus's power and volume up and down buttons, as they are a little too thin and do not give enough click, if you know what I mean. The 5.5-inch display does not feel big at all because of its slightly curved back. On the top of the S3 Plus is a microphone and a 3.5 headphone jack. At the bottom is a micro USB charger next to another microphone. On the front of the S3 Plus is a 5 megapixel camera with an LED light that can go green or red. And at the back is a 13 megapixel camera with dual LED flash. Below the flash is a speaker grill. The speaker gets extremely loud and sounds quite nice. The speaker only gets muffled when the phone is placed on its back, but does not get muffled when playing games. The S3 Plus is 152mm high, 75.5mm wide, 8.9mm thin, and only weighs 189 grams with the battery inside. Moving on to the internals, the S3 Plus has 3GB of RAM, 16GB of internal storage, dual SIM, Lollipop 5.1, and a 64-bit 8-core MT6752 chipset clocked at 1.7 GHz. The cores themselves don't have the best single-core performance as the Samsung's or the Apple's offerings, but their multi-core results blow everyone else's out of the water, as the benchmarks show. The S3 Plus also can support micro SD card slot up to 64 GB. The battery is a 3000 to 3100 mAh, which can get me through a day easily. The 5.5 LTPS IPS display has more than average 1080p resolution, which gives it a 401 pixels per inch. The contrast is a bit of a concern, nowhere near as deep as some of the better panels out there. But that is really negotiable by the comparison when placing it to another better collaborated panel. This is with the default settings at least. When I was going through the settings, something blew me away. While going through the display settings, I found an option called Mirror Vision, which allows the user to have fine-grained control over the phone's display, including the contrast, the brightness, saturation, sharpness, color temperatures. After going through and spending about 5 minutes to collaborate it, the display became extremely better. The blacks on the display are very deep, and the display brightness also does a very good job in direct sunlight. The display itself is covered with Corning Gorilla Glass 3, which should make it rather tough. The camera on the S3 Plus is a bit of a hit and a miss. With the right lighting, it captures some amazingly detailed photos, but at night, with little lighting, it is quite a mess, but the flash does a decent job to help. With the video, it is not that bad at all. You just need to try to have a steady hand, as there is no video stabilization. But the biggest beauty is the camera software. Apart from the video stabilization, there is a ton of options like live photo mode, PIP mode, which uses both your front and your back facing camera in one photo. And there's also motion tracking mode, time-lapse mode. You can even customize your camera and video preference to your shutter speed, Your quality of your video can be 1080p, 720p. It's all up to you. My final thoughts. After using the $160 Yaesu S3 Plus, I can honestly say that I am not regretting a cent that I spent on it. The phone has everything I ever expected and more, with the specs that are just amazing for the price. Yes, a little bit better screen would be nice and a better low light camera would be just grand, but at this point you can get away with those features. Yaesu is not a very known brand and will be difficult to buy or even find cases or accessories. But there are plenty of third-party ROMs, even though Yaesu is not a very known brand. So I must say that this is definitely the best phone ever. So that will wrap up the Yaesu S3 Plus review. If you want to see some camera samples, it will be on my website, and I'll link the website in the description below. And hopefully you enjoyed this kind of review. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe. That will be it from me today, so bye.